So Casey is asking, can I have Hashimoto's without hypothyroidism? And you absolutely can for a couple of reasons. One, you might actually have Hashimoto's, but the attack on the thyroid, which is what Hashimoto's is, an autoimmune attack, hasn't actually started to destroy the thyroid enough or damage the tissue to reduce thyroid function. So you have evidence that this attack is happening, but it hasn't actually gone far enough to cause destruction. Or it could be that you do have symptoms and the doctor tells you you don't because of the lab tests that they're using. They're using TSH, they're using the wrong ranges. So you feel symptoms, and yes, they see you have Hashimoto's, but they're like, oh, wait and see. It's not critical enough for me, the doctor, to care. In both cases, I would say the treatment or the approach is the same. Regardless of whether or not the doctor thinks you have symptoms or whether or not you're feeling them, it's still time to change your diet. And you may think, well, why do I need to do that if I'm not having symptoms? Because you have evidence of an illness. And you're actually at a place, a good place, where you can stop the attack and stop the damage before it actually destroys a critical organ, your thyroid. You can actually change your diet. That means removing all autoimmune triggers permanently. This is an entire lifestyle change, gluten, dairy, eggs, soy, in order to protect your health for the rest of your life, in order to protect yourself and stop your body from attacking your thyroid. Now, why is it worth doing that? Well, it is an organ, but also once you have one autoimmune disorder, if you ignore it, if you don't actually do something to reduce the autoimmunity, your body can start attacking somewhere else. You can have Hashimoto's and celiac, Hashimoto's and psoriasis, Hashimoto's and petechiae, Hashimoto's and multiple sclerosis, Hashimoto's and type 1 diabetes, or Crohn's disease, or any other disease. Once your body shows evidence that it can get confused, that you have the genes that can get your body to start confusing self and the enemy, your own tissues and something that should be attacked, there's evidence that it can happen again. And the way to avoid it is to get rid of those autoimmune triggers, is to stop subjecting your body to the crap food, toxins, and stress, the three things that trigger all chronic illness in us, so that you can stay healthy in the long term. So is it possible to have Hashimoto's without the symptoms of hypothyroidism? Absolutely. It still means you have an autoimmune disease. It just hasn't gotten bad enough that there are symptoms. Remember, symptoms are just the evidence of the disease and not the disease itself, right? It's you have a disease and the symptoms get better or worse, but what we really want to do is get rid of the underlying illness or put it into remission. We can't cure it, but we can put our body into remission. We can reverse it. We can heal. There's no cure for autoimmunity, but I had autoimmune diseases for 30 years and I have no symptoms because of my lifestyle. So my autoimmune diseases are all in remission. I have no symptoms. I have no hypothyroidism, even though technically I still do have Hashimoto's.